The future of Ontario Place is now up to the province. Toronto says it will be stepping aside in its push against the park's redevelopment. The province plans to build a private mega spa and combine the site with the Ontario Science Centre. I spoke with Ontario Place for All steering committee member Emmy Egulu, who says the battle isn't over. What does this mean for your ongoing push against this redevelopment for Ontario Place?
Well, we see this new deal and decision as a pivotal moment for Ontario Place. While we recognize the significance of the $1.2 billion deal, our primary concern still remains with ensuring that any redevelopment aligns with the core principles of revitalization. And we still believe that it's crucial that Ontario Place remains a space for all Ontarians, preserving its environmental and historical significance and maintaining its public accessibility.
What are your thoughts on Toronto handing over the reins to Ontario, basically? Is this something you foresaw?
Ontario Place is aware and knows that the province can expropriate and rezone Ontario Place without the city's approval. And we know that Mayor Chow today believes that it is called, at the end of the day, Ontario Place, and the land does belong to the provincial government, and the city doesn't have any authority to stop their development. So we've been aware of that, but we still support the mayor's clear and consistent view for a long time now that the site needs to remain as a public park.
Can you take me through some of what you're hearing from the community, what you've heard so far?
Well, we know that tens of thousands of people across this province support Ontario Place for All remaining as a public park. And we do express disappointment with Premier Ford's decision to push forward with this private mega spa that community members truly don't want. We know that a lot of community members in a lot of our public rallies, a lot of our community consultations, and a lot of the protests that we've held don't believe that this private mega spa is something that they want, and they see this spa as something that will only be for the select few who can afford it, and it won't be accessible to many Ontarians who feel more cash-strapped and can't afford the luxury of going to a privatized entity. So we want to ensure that Ontario Place remains public, that it doesn't remain as a commercial investment, and simply we don't believe in the use of $650 million of taxpayer money to build a foreign mega spa on our West Island.
If Mayor Olivia Chow is saying that Ontario Place in the end does belong to Ontario, then what purpose does this have in this deal then? Where does it fit in here?
Well, the Toronto-Ontario New Deal announcement has allocated dollars for infrastructure investments, TTC funding for affordable housing and other initiatives. In regards to Ontario Place, the deal also just really reiterates the province's authority and jurisdictional responsibility over Ontario Place. The province is allowed to expropriate this land without the city's approval. We know that Mayor Chow has publicly stated that she wants Ontario Place to remain as a public park, but she doesn't specifically have authority over the entire West Island. And we wish to continue to engage with the mayor's office, with other relevant stakeholders, with other politicians who have jurisdiction over the land, such as MVP Chris Glover and Deputy Mayor Asma Malik. However, this fight can be conducted without the city's approval. So we want to take the fight to Queen's Park. We want to do a call your member of provincial parliament action drive. We want to keep pressuring politicians across this province to push against this plan.
What's at stake here for the community and for the area around the Ontario Place?
I truly believe that, in the face of the province's persistence with the mega spa, Ontario Place needs to continue to amplify our efforts to protect Ontario Place. And from my point of view, it's not just about land that's at stake, but I believe that our province's heritage, our environment, and our democratic rights are at stake. If a province can just push forward with an undemocratic plan behind closed doors without being transparent about a 95-year lease, there's a lot at stake there. We want to ensure that our national environment, that our democratic norms, and our accessibility to public space is protected.
That was Emmy Egulu speaking on their fight against Ontario's redevelopment plan.